EA would rather I die than refuse her cooking. Summary: I recently moved back to the south because I hated wet, cold, miserable winters up north. However, I now realize there was one major drawback to moving back home. I should never have moved within driving distance to the majority of my family. And now my entitled aunt thinks I should die rather than hurt her feelings. Me. EA, entitled, Attention Whore, and Mom, my mother. Another year, another disappointing Thanksgiving. Of course, the usual disappointments were all there. A sister who thinks that being a single mom makes her a fucking saint instead of just someone that didn't remember to use birth control. Critical, alcoholic cousins who can't wait to point out everything wrong with someone else's life, but don't dare look at their own lives as they finish their 5th glass of wine in less than an hour, with the turkey still having 2 hours to go. The parental units who seem desperate to reclaim their lost youth by pretending they still have authority over children in their 30s and 40s. Drunk uncles, screaming babies, and way too much drama. And then, of course, there is the biggest disappoint of all. My demanding, attention whore of an aunt and her fucking sweet potatoes. Those god-awful, too sweet, fucking make my teeth hurt just thinking about them, shitty sweet potatoes. Her pride and joy side dish that she insists on bringing to every Thanksgiving instead of burying it with shame in the backyard with the rest of the fertilizer where it belongs. The dish she insists on forcing each one of us to consume. I could be deathly allergic to those fuckers, and she would still throw a fit if I refused to eat it. I even hate calling them sweet potatoes. I feel like the name insults real potatoes everywhere. Why couldn't my aunt have picked a dish made of real potatoes instead? It's not like she didn't have plenty of potato dishes to choose from. Real potatoes are wondrous things and can be prepared stewed, scalloped, fried, twice baked, and so many other delicious ways. Real potatoes are simply wonderful. Real potatoes are also the only way to make a proper batch of fries. Fries, French fries, crispy taters, chips, freedom fries, although that last one is a bit absurd even for me. Whatever you want to call them, fries are delicious. Savory, salty, and a perfect complement to any dish of freshly killed and grilled meat. If my aunt made fries and they were cold when the turkey was served, I would still gladly eat those fuckers instead of her stomach-turning sweet potatoes. On the other hand, sweet potatoes are an abomination when fried. People who make fries out of sweet potatoes have clearly suffered a psychotic break of gargantuan proportions and are now trying to take everyone else down the rabbit hole to cuckoo land with them by attempting to trick us into thinking we're getting fries instead of fucking sweet potatoes. I recently lost my oldest and dearest childhood friend to sweet potato fries. He has become a casualty of the devastation caused by sweet potatoes. Not only is he eating sweet potato fries, but to offset the sweetness, instead of ketchup, a very God-fearing, true blue American's choice for fry dipping, he's dipping those fuckers in mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. This is the United States, not the Netherlands. No offense to the Dutch people. But no. Just no. I tried to talk him back to sanity. I yelled at him, sweet potatoes aren't for fries. They are for pie filling. Pie fucking filling. Unfortunately, I found him to be an unresponsive, broken shell of a man. He is lost in a twisted wonderland where up is down, hot is cold, and sweet potatoes are made into fries. But of course, the nastiest preparation for sweet potatoes is reserved for Thanksgiving, and somehow my aunt has made it even worse. Whoever thought of candying sweet potatoes with brown sugar and maple syrup and then topping that shit with marshmallows is one seriously fucked up, escaped mental patient. And to then make it a staple side dish on a national holiday, well, that's some devious Dr. Evil level plan to destroy America. So naturally, my attention-seeking aunt had decided years ago that this travesty would become her signature side dish to bring to Thanksgiving. That monstrosity of a side dish has tormented me for years. Not only is it there during Thanksgiving, but everyone eats it. We don't have a choice. As my aunt is the one who brings the sweet potatoes, along with my alcoholic cousins that she spawned, she insists everyone must have some of her famous side dish. We are then expected to fawn over her about how delicious they are, ask her what her secret is, blah, blah, blah. If anyone doesn't eat her candied, marshmallow-covered turds and compliment her, she will harass them throughout the entire meal, and constantly tell us how insulted she feels until we give in. This year, I decided to tell her no and pass on the orange, sugary horror. Have some of my famous sweet potatoes, op. Me, I'm sorry but I'm trying to cut out sugar. My doctor says I really need to lose weight. Well, it's the holidays, so those calories don't count. Me, yes, they do. In fact, they count more, as we tend to overeat over the holidays and not exercise. Well, you should have told me in advance that you weren't going to have any, and I wouldn't have made as much. That's so inconsiderate of you. Me, I'm one person out of 25 here. The amount you make wouldn't have changed. You should still have some since you didn't tell me in advance. That's the polite thing to do. You're practically spitting in my face by refusing. I slaved away in the kitchen for hours to make them. I know for a fact she just pours them from a can, adds maple syrup and cinnamon, tops with marshmallows, and bakes for half an hour. Me, I'm sorry, but I'm overweight as it is. I'm serious about trying to get in better shape. I'd like to be around for a while. Why do you hate me so much? After all that I've done for you. I have no idea what she's done for me. I've only ever seen her during the holidays. And I still don't know why my doctor seems to care more about my health than my family. Then turns to my mother and says, I can't believe you raised such a horrible child. I'm fucking 40. Tell him to have some or I'm never coming back to this house again. Mom, you know how sensitive your aunt is. Just have some and tell her it's delicious, so she shuts up. It seems I was left with only 3 options. A. Have some and pretend EA did a good job instead of trying to fucking poison me. B. Refuse and hear about her whining non-stop about how I insulted her for an entire fucking year. C. Take the honorable way out by removing the carving knife from the turkey and committing seppuku right there in front of my loved ones. I'm still alive to write this, so you can guess the outcome. Once again, my aunt won this year. I caved into her demands to try some of her crime against food that she calls a side dish while she smugly smiled. I pretended to enjoy eating her potential violation of the Geneva Convention while constantly looking for my chance to go to the bathroom and attempt to quietly vomit the shit into the porcelain deity. I don't know about you, but option C looks better every fucking year. Thanks for listening. I needed to purge some of these feelings before the next holiday gathering where my love for family is measured by how much debt I'm willing to acquire buying them presents they don't need.